If you're here, make sure you say hi. And I do think after being going on YouTube Live several times, I do see comments, so that's great. I think I can respond like right away, but even after the live, I think I will be able to see. So in case I didn't cover anything or I miss any comment, I will go back and comment it back. So today we are doing a little drop of solid. So are gonna be part of what we are showing today. It's gonna be a pretty quick live, I hope. It's pretty small drop, and I'm only planning to do the early bird, which is a new arrival sale for about a week on those, because my strike team and I we're working on some other small drop things like two solid and one really pretty print, and I have some like limited quantity. And so again, this is gonna be only about a week for early bird pricing and early bird new arrival pricing, and we were going to go over the type of solids, the stretch info, the width of fabric, and the yardage. So that way you have a good idea what you're looking when they go on website. Website I'm probably gonna use one of my vendor stock photo. So there's like not photo I took by myself. It's gonna be photo they took at their studio. So hopefully that represents the color better. So without further ado, the first one gonna be going on for this new drop of early bird will be this eggplant double brush poly. So what is double brush poly? It's polyester knit, super soft, very brush. So they are really buttery and great for actually let me make sure I turn my phone to do not disturb. So what double brush poly is great for making legging, t-shirt, even cardigan. I really like it for my hoodie lining too. It just feel like kind of really nice and soft and not too thick, so it doesn't make like my hoodie super heavy. So yeah, it's just like I really love it. And double wash poly usually is great for legging too, depending on the stretch. So let's see. Usually when I stretch, I'll do the stretch that we would normally wear, and then I'll stretch the selvage. So I usually try to list on the website as such. And the quantity on this one gonna be very limited. Most everything I'm gonna be showing today is between 10 yards to 15 yards. So usually I list 1 yard less to allow me to do car allowance. Because limited quantity, I might be doing that as a half yard. So if you're only needing a small quantity for your project, maybe it's a good idea. Usually, if you see my back, I get fabric by the row, so they are usually 60 yards to 80 yards. For those, I usually list by the yard. It doesn't make sense to cut half yard. But then for limited quantity, like things like this, 'cause I usually don't see a lot of those colors, and then I just decided to get a small quantity for us. I would do it by half yard. Everything on www.seweird.com is by the yard by default, but if I listed different quantity, I do list it on the title of the listing, so should be no question asked. So for those, I'm gonna list the price by half yard. So it should be a pretty good deal. The new arrival will have their own sales price, but anything that's not new arrival or the early bird, you will be able to use the coupon code CYBER, CYBER. So it's gonna be great. Just use the cyber, and I'm doing a giveaway in my Facebook group. I haven't opened it yet, but I already listed the price photo. So be on the lookout. I'm working on that right after the live. So let's do a stretch test. What I do is I grab 10 inches and then I stretch, and then to see how much percentage it goes. So this is my handy dandy ruler. From 10 inches, this pretty eggplant double brush poly go to 24. So that's 140%. So I will list as 130%. So let me just write eggplant. 140%. I'll put 130%. And let's see the salvage. The salvage, I imagine gonna be a little bit less stretch. Hey, good morning, Abigail. Thank you for saying hi. So this is the salvage. Salvage has some stretch, not great. So let's grab 10 inches. And from 10 inches, it go to about 14 inches. So that's about 40% stretch. I usually put 30%. The reason I put a little bit less is just because, like, depending how we stretch, the differences, I just want to give like plus minus, standard deviation. Hey, good morning, Ellie. Hi, thank you for saying hi. And then the next thing we do is to check the width of fabric. Width of fabric, usually you will see a lot of people abbreviate it to WOF. That's pretty standard in the fabric world. So WOF usually just mean width of fabric. And that's how I listed in my listing too. So grabbing then folded, lying flat. This go to about 31, so that's 62 with the fabric. I'm gonna put it as 61 just in case, because it's being on the bow, so in case any stretch. So again, this super pretty eggplant double brush poly, look at that drape, and like, it had like a natural like sheen to it. So this double brush poly eggplant stretch 130% and 30%, so it's four-way stretch. And with the fabric 61, so a little bit more than the standard 56, 57 inch. So that's great. I only have 14 yard of that, so it's actually a 15-yard bow, but I'm only gonna be listing 14 yard. And next up, oh, and who do we have here? Hi, good morning. Good, good. Thank you for joining me live. So we are showing the fabric that will be on the next early bird new arrival sales at Seweird.com. So this is again another double brush poly and the color turquoise. Very pretty, very pretty. So I will be listing them by the half yard count on the website, and there's only gonna be total 14 yards I'll be share. And let's see. Good morning. We are here located in California, and the website is soweird.com. So, okay, again, let's take a look at this brush poly. Before I do any stretch, this is my handy dandy stretch ruler. I'm just gonna check the width of fabric. So we fold it in half and lay flat. Folding half, lay flat. Okay, so that's about 31 folded half, so that's 62 inches again. So we're gonna put width of fabric at 61, give and take. And let's see. Well, thank you for sharing the love. Okay, so let's do the stretch on this. So this is how we normally wear. Salvage is usually on the side, but this is the across the grain, usually how we normally wear. So let's grab 10 inches, lay flat and stretch. That go to 21 inches, so that's 110%. So I'll put 100% give and take. And then let's do the salvage stretch. 0 to 10, that goes to 15%, so I'm gonna put 40%. So this pretty turquoise, I also only have 15 yards, so I'll be listing only 14 yards and gonna be sold by half yard cut. Just so that some of you only need color block or you only need it for making bends, so that'll be great. So that way you can get a assortment of a different thing. All right, and then sometimes you only need 1.5 yard for your project. So you wasted half yard if you buy 2 yards. So I'm gonna make it listed by half yard. This pretty turquoise coming up next. I'm gonna try to do it. I know Holly in the group said she really love this sage color. It is really pretty. So this is another double brush poly. And this is the last double brush poly in this drop. There's only gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 different solids. So 3 are double brush poly, including the sage. Gonna try to do the color justice. Okay, so yeah, this is a better representation of the color. When it's like closer, somehow it gets like lighter. But this is like a really nice, pretty sage color. And let's check the width of fabric while it's folded nicely. So edge to edge, fold it nicely, lay flat. So it's about 30.5. So that's 61 inch. So I'm put the width of fabric at 60 inch. So sage, and let's do the stretch info. Okay, so lay flat, grabbing from 0 to 10 inch, and then it stretched to 23 inches. And you see how it's nice, thick quality. It's not like that see-through, right? So to 23 inch, that's 130%. We're gonna put it as 120%, the give and take. And this is the salvage. Oh, it's actually stretched pretty nicely too. So from 0 to 10, the salvage go to 16. So actually this is 50% on the salvage. So yeah, even if it's the same solid, they still stretch differently because all the fabric has a base fabric, and base fabric can have a little bit different characteristic, even it's from the same lot number. So this is pretty sage color, and this is gonna be also listed by half yard, and there's only gonna be 14 yards. The vendor should make 15 yards, but there's always shortage. Yeah. So I know a lot of the group members are waiting for this red. The vendor listed it as a 10 ounce, and they call it scarlet red. I'm gonna bring it a little bit further because that always seems to represent the color better. So this is the red on this one. I'm trying to see if I have my custom gray solid. So walk with me in the warehouse. I'm gonna see okay, I got it. So this is my custom gray solid young wine, which is a little bit one color. Okay, so take out the back. That way we can compare color in person, because some of you so weirdo are familiar with my custom gray young wine. So this is the custom gray young wine, like a little bit one color to it. This is the scarlet red. So you can see like they are both kind of red, but different shades of red. If you should say, let's see what Abigail say. Such pretty sage color, right? The previous one, yes. And then I wanted to get this color in because, you know, it is December after all. We're still in the early December, so you still have time to sew all that gift project, and then sometimes you just add a little red to any project because it's December. So it's kind of like a Christmas color. And now the shop has cotton, spandex, Kelly green, and then red. So it's going to be perfect. So this is the custom grade young one that's already in stock, which qualify for the coupon cyber. And then this one is the new arrival that's gonna be on early bird, and I'm gonna be listed by half yard again. And this one I got 2 little flat roll from the vendor, so I have 30 yards purchased. So I'll be listing 28 yards, and they're gonna be by half yard increments. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And without further ado, let's continue with our width of fabric and the stretch info. As a sewist, you should always be pretty interested in those information. Width of fabric tell you how much you can use. And then the stretch info, usually some pattern has specific stretch info, so you always want to make sure your fabric can, or do you need to size up. When there's less stretch, you tend to want to size up a little bit, but it's all really up to you. So right now lay flat is 30.5, so that's 61 width of fabric. We're gonna put it at 60 width of fabric, and this is the Scarlet Red CL, and I see the stretch info. Again, the vendor listed as 10 ounce, so I didn't really like cut and weight it. I'm just gonna call it medium weight on the website, okay? So this is the stretch where you're gonna wear. So pretty decent. And this is the salvage. Oh, salvage stretch a lot too. So this is gonna be great. Let's take a look. Such a pretty sage, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. So again, if you have any question, feel free to comment. I try to like come back and look. So grabbing from 10-inch, lay flat, it go to 19 inches. So that's 90% stretch. I'm gonna put 80%. I usually minus a bit, so there's no disappointment, or just in case we stretch a little bit different, I give like a 10% differences, standard deviation. So this is a salvage, grabbing 10 inches, lay flat. That go to 16 inches, so that's 60% stretch. But for the website record, I'll put 50% stretch. So again, this one I have two bolt like this, two flat bolt, and so I will be listed as by half yard and total 28 yards on the website. And as you can see, when I was draping the double brush poly, it has like a really nice drape. For cotton spandex, it's a more stable type of knit, so a lot of people use it for neckband. It's great for underwear too, and also it's great for just any t-shirts. It has a little bit more structure to it, so it's super easy to sew. It probably hide your love handle a little bit better than a softer knit. So it's just like the different characteristic. So you have a little bit more stiff look than the double brush poly. I'm gonna roll it back. Okay, so this is the Scarlet Red cotton spandex. I'm gonna put it next to the thermal. So next up is the thermal knit. Renee in our group specifically asked for thermal, not for the waffle knit, which we do have waffle sweater knit, but thermal is a little bit different. So just to put the two color side by side so you can have a better idea for the color. Okay, yeah, so this is a pretty good representation for that Scarlet Red. Okay, put it away. So the thermal black, I believe I got the very last from the vendor. They only have 10 yards. So everything today I'm gonna list it by half yard increment, but the pricing will be similar to my early bird pricing on like the limited quantity ones. So it should be still pretty affordable. I do have to like look up my vendor invoice before I list on the website to make sure at least I'm doing my shop the correct math. So this is thermal. So I'm gonna bring up a little bit. I'm actually gonna flip the camera over, okay? So thermal, the difference between thermal and waffle knit is thermal is a little bit more tightly kneaded. So it's like not as loose and airy. It is still compared to cotton spandex, but compared to waffle knit, since I'm trying to just compare a similar fabric. And then the texture on the thermal is like a smaller compared to waffle knit. And this is the wrong side, right side. So thermal knit is actually great as a inner shirt, or some people even do as a like a legging. because it just keep you warm and it's still very soft and nice. I'm gonna walk over to my waffle knit. I don't know if I have a pre-cut. Okay, so here's a waffle knit. So you can see the texture definitely is kind of a bigger texture hole, like the square, and it's a little bit more loose knit. Like as I just pull a little bit, you can already see my finger. Okay, okay, walking back. So yeah, hopefully you get a good idea between the difference of a thermal knit versus a waffle knit. And then the thermal, again, compared to cotton spandex, it's looserly kneaded, but compared to waffle knit, it's more tightly kneaded. Yeah, so this thermal is like very soft. I don't know how to describe the softness. Let me see if I can drape it. Yeah, so it's like a very soft. It's not brushed, so it's great. It won't be super overly heated, but it keep you warm. This is the wrong side, this is the right side. Okay, so without further ado, let's do the width of fabric. I only have 10 yards, so I'm gonna list only 9 yards, and then I'm gonna list by half yard. That way, if you just need like half yard to finish your project, or if you want 1.5 yard to just be perfectly the right size for your pattern, that would be great. I do that for usually the quantity that's limited, or it's like, not like by the 60 or 80 yard. Those are you try to list by the yard. Okay, so folding in half, lay flat, it's about 31.5, so that's 61 width of fabric. I'm gonna list it as 60 width of fabric. So this is the thermal black. And I checked the stretch. So thermal should be slower recovery. Just want to show you. Okay, there's not a whole lot of spandex because it's gonna be close to your skin. So not a lot of spandex is good because some people are sensitive to spandex or like elastic. So this is like definitely very soft and nice, warm to keep it as a undergarment set. So from 10 inches, it go to 21 inches. So very stretchy, slower recovery. So 21, that's 110%. I'm gonna put it as 100%. And this is the salvage. So salvage only stretch a little bit. Let's see how much. So grabbing 10 inches. Grabbing 10. It go to about 13 inches. So it's more like a 20% instead of 30%. I'm gonna put 20%. So slower recovery. So this is the thermal knit, thermal black. And next up is thermal hunter green. And that I believe is gonna be the last one for this live. And then shortly after the live, I'm gonna be working on the listing and also for working on opening the giveaway in my Facebook group. So again, the website is www.seweird.com. So it's like so weird, but there's only one W, SEWEIRD.com. And this is the hunter green thermal, so pretty. Can you see that? So I just wanted to put them side by side so you can get like a good color comparison, right? Okay, so this is a pretty good representation of color. I did notice like when the camera is a little bit further away, you kind of see the color a little bit better. Okay, so this is a hunter green thermal. This one, the vendor shipped 15 yards. So I'll be listed 14 yards. And again, I'm gonna do a half yard increment because they are limited quantity. And then so if you, and they are solid. So if you just like really need a little piece to finish a project, that would be great. You see how it's from the same bowl, but like closer to camera and further to camera, you can even feel like the color different. So this is a better representation of color, the one that's a little bit further from the camera. Let's see, Abigail said green. Yeah, I noticed you like sage, you like hunter green. You have definitely like a more green color girl, huh? So let's see, lay it flat. So edge to edge. Oh, this one feel a little bit wider, but let me see. Am I dreaming or is it true? Yep, it is true. This one is almost 33 inches laid flat, so 32.5 inches. That's 65 width of fabric. So the hunter green, you get a little bit more out of that. So I'm gonna put hunter green. So 65 width of fabric. We're gonna put 64 inches. I take out 1 inch just in case we measure differently. And this is the way you will wear, so it's pretty stretchy. And this is the selvage. Selvage has kind of a decent stretch too, so that's check. So I try to grab in the middle, grabbing 10 inches, lay flat. So from 10 inches, it go to 23 inches. So that's 130%. I'll put it as 120% for that stretch. Green makes your eye color pop, so you wear a lot. Oh, green thermal will be coming to your house. Green made your eyes pop. My eyes so small. I don't even know what color can make my eyes pop, but I'm glad like green color made your eyes pop. Yeah, I always feel like I'm more gravitate toward like purple, fuchsia, kind of like a more cold color, but I don't know. I actually think the green look really nice too. Yeah, I think the green look really nice too. Yeah, the other day I was playing on the Facebook group, right? This or that, I had like the same pattern, but one is a more yellow warm color, and one is like darker and with a fuchsia color purple. Yeah, it was like really fun to see how everyone think differently, which one would match better. Yeah. And I haven't made anything out of that fabric. Oh no, I did. I made it out of the purple one, but not on the yellow one yet. So I need to work on that. So this is the salvage. Where's the salvage? Need to make sure I stretch the right place. Okay, so this is the salvage. Okay, let's do it. Salvage from 0 to 10. 0 to 10, it go to 14. So that's 40%. So we're going to put 30%. So alrighty, that ends our live today. So it will be only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay. So there's gonna be only 6 solids for this mini drop, and this is gonna be last only for a week. But meanwhile, website for anything non-new arrival, you can use the coupon code CYBER, CYBER, for Seweird.com, SEWEIRD.com, and then you will be able to take some percentage off during the current sales. Retail, that's not a new arrival. This is new drop, we're gonna call it early bird. Any new arrival sale, I call it early bird, will have its own special pricing, and of course it's going to be excluded from the coupon. Well, so thank you for joining live. Thank you everyone. So I will also be linking this video to the item description, because that always help you to find a specific fabric for the video, which is hopefully to help you to see the color, and I do the stretch info with the fabric. As always, appreciate you. Thank you and happy holiday. Bye.